I was born in Waseca, Minnesota. My parents still live in Waseca, Minnesota. My dad attended MSU back in the day and played baseball. I went to MSU initially because of the opportunity to play football and basketball. After arriving at MSU and meeting the people and seeing the campus, I just knew that that was where I wanted to go. I received a football scholarship and played football for my 4.5 years there. I loved everything about being a part of MSU, and it was tenfold what I thought it was going to be when I showed up there. Being a kid from a small town, it allowed me to really interact with a lot of kids from the cities. And to this day, my contacts up in the metro area all stem from MSU in some shape or form. When I look back at a couple people that have had an impact on my life, Dan Runkle, who was my head football coach, and Joe Planansky, who was my position coach. If I can pick out a couple places where my viewpoint on life changed, those two people were a driving force behind that. Dan Runkle, what he taught me was basically that you were no longer some high school hero from a small town, just a member of a machine that's a lot bigger than you, which I think was the most valuable lesson in life, to understand your position and to really start to figure out how you can be a part of a team. I credit Joe Planansky for shaping my real confidence. I happened to be walking around a business job fair, which I had no business being at since I was an international relations major and a Spanish minor. And I ran into Jim Clark, who was recruiting on campus. I wasn't at all interested in financial services going through college. Jim Clark single-handedly positioned me for anything else that would come for me in my life. And in talking to him, he convinced me to pack up and move to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Another turning point in the career was, at that point, I had been there for about 1.5 years. And Jim talked the home office into getting me involved in this fast track into management and principal. I then came into Minneapolis and went into the field executive development program for a couple of years and then became managing director and then regional managing director. Anytime you can take someone and better their situation, I think that's the proudest moment that you can have in this business. My second area where I'm most proud is being named the youngest regional managing director or principal. MSU means make stuff up. Just kidding. To me, MSU is a second home. It's where I've developed as a person, where I began. I feel absolutely fortunate because everything I've ever done was because great people pushed me to do it or helped me to do it. But it starts with my mom and dad. I don't have anybody in my life that's affected me the way my parents have. I have a 6-year-old son, Ashton, who is my world, and everything I do revolves around him, and probably the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I only hope that someday my son will love and respect me in the way that I love and respect my parents for all that they've done for me as well.